Ladies and gentle people, you are watching my very first motorcycle ride in the rain. Just a little bit of context. We had the first wave had already come through, and the roads were a little bit wet when I left my workplace. So I decided to go ahead and head on home. Lo and behold, there's a second wave of storms coming through, and the rain starts coming down progressively more and more as I go through this ride. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few things that I personally recommend when it comes to riding in the rain. By the way, I don't have any rain gear, so as the rain progressively gets more and more heavy, my everything got all the way wet. So just be mindful of that. If you don't have any rain gear, that's a reality. That's what's going to happen. And the majority of the trip was actually a little bit more fun than I thought it would be. For me personally, it might not be fun for you. There was a part that wasn't really all that fun, but you'll see that a little bit later on. So I'm going to go over a few things that I personally recommend if you're going to ride a motorcycle in the rain. First thing is you need a motorcycle and you need some rain. The real first thing that I recommend, if you're thinking about riding a motorcycle in the rain, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, then don't. The second thing I recommend is that you need good tires. I'm not talking about any particular type or any particular brand. Any kind of street tires would be probably fine as long as they're in good condition. That's what I mean by good tires. They need to be in good condition, right? And along with the rest of the motorcycle needs to be in good condition as well. You make sure you check all your fluids and everything. It's well maintained. So that's what the second thing I recommend. The next thing I recommend: skills and confidence. So for example, if you only have just maybe like 5 or 6 hours of riding a Honda Nighthawk 250 in a parking lot at an MSF course, you're barely, and I mean barely, ready to ride in the public streets. You need to build up more skills and confidence before you even consider riding in the rain. Yeah, line selection and road strategy, right? So whatever space cushion that is recommended, your space cushion needs to be beyond what is normally recommended. Also, at the same time, it needs to, you need good visibility. You need a good line of sight, good escape route. Another thing is that potholes and road surface hazards are going to be more difficult to see. So just be mindful of that as well. At the same time, you need to stay out of the running water, and any water that is deeper than like an 1/8 inch or quarter inch thick. And definitely stay out of any water that's deep unless you're going like really, really, really slow, right? So stay out of the running water and stay out of the water that's higher than the side of your tire unless you're going like super, super slow. Anyway, smooth and easy on your controls. What does that exactly mean? You need to be a little bit slower on your throttle and a little bit slower on your brakes. Or if you're a squid, then you need to be a lot slower on your throttle and a lot slower on your brakes. Another thing I recommend: high vis. Now my jacket is white, and the reason I chose white is a good color because it's easy to see in pretty much any conditions. So you need high vis either on your jacket or on your bike or both. And having a white jacket like I do, that helps. But also I have the saddlebags I bought have these really bright green rain covers. Your rider aids, you may have traction control, you may have rider modes, you may have ABS. I have ABS. I don't have any other rider aids. But what you should do is ride as if the rider aids do not exist. They're there as an extra safety net. One thing there is about riding in the rain, and I know this because of it happened to me. Another thing about riding in the rain, if you are on a motorcycle, you are inherently more difficult to see than an F-350, for example. When it's raining or dark, especially if it's raining, they don't expect you to be out there. They might expect motorcycles to be out in the daytime or at night when the weather's nice, they absolutely do not expect you to be out there in the rain. Very few people are going to be on motorcycles in the rain for good reason. It goes all right back up to the top of the list where you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't. Right? Probably a majority of motorcyclists probably would rather sit and wait around than to be out in the rain. If it starts raining so hard that you have a hard time seeing like anything at all, everyone else has got a hard time seeing anything at all. There comes a point where even the most highly skilled motorcycle riders out there, they're gonna get off the road. And that brings us to the last point here. It got to this point in the ride, as you were seeing throughout this ride, the rain just progressively got more and more, started raining harder and harder as I went through. Got to the point where it was honestly kind of difficult to see. But I knew there was a gas station at the next light. But I went ahead and turned off the main road, and as you can see right here, I didn't even see this water. This deep water that I'm going through right here. Luckily I was going slow enough that it wasn't an issue. But if I was going at speed, that water would have been more of an issue. The camera picked it up, but like I said, I wasn't able to see it. I was headed toward that gas station up ahead, but I wanted to get off the main road first. That was my priority, to get off the main road. I was going through here. It would have been just as good for me to go ahead and just park and then kind of just stand over by the building. That would have been just as good as what I ended up doing. But as you can see, I look over, I see this broken down old car wash, so I decided to just go ahead and pull into there. I ended up standing around there for about 20 minutes because, like I said, it was raining so hard that even driving would probably be a bad idea at that point. So anyway, those are my tips for riding a motorcycle in the rain. So I'm going to just go ahead and go over them just real quick. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, just don't. Have good tires. Overall, the bike should be in good condition too. Before you ride in the rain for the first time, build up more skills and confidence. You don't want to do this sort of thing as a beginner. Increase your space cushion beyond what is recommended. Smooth and easy on the controls. That means you are on the brakes and on the gas slower than you normally would. Have something that you're wearing as high vis. Ride as if your riding aids do not exist. They are a safety net, not a crutch, right? They can't see you if you have a hard time seeing. So if it gets to the point where your visibility is really low, you need to get off the road. But there you go. Those are my personal tips for riding in the rain. Hope you like this video and do these things. Hey y'all, do me a favor. Please click like and subscribe. It helps me big time in the algorithm. And click the bell icon so you know when new videos drop. And go ahead and check out the video on screen. You know you want to.